What if I told you that persistent shoulder pain, that digestive discomfort that keeps returning, that tension you've carried for years, are not merely physical problems, but secret notes written by your own soul, urgent messages that the universe sends through the most intimate language it possesses, your own body. You may have tried to ignore these signals, mask the symptoms, seek relief in external medications, but what few perceive is that the body functions as sacred oracle, as living temple that lights warning signals when our consciousness becomes lost in the labyrinths of material existence. Paramahansa Yogananda revealed a truth that modern medicine has only begun to glimpse. There exists no real separation between body and soul, between physical pain and spiritual state, between bodily symptoms and patterns of consciousness we cultivate through our most intimate thoughts, emotions, and choices. Each cell of your body vibrates at the exact frequency of thoughts you most nourish. Each organ responds to emotions you sustain as truths about yourself and about life. But here is the point that almost no one dares consider. What if this pain were not your enemy, but your most dedicated spiritual counselor? What if it were disguised divine message, cosmic bell ringing insistently until you finally answer the door of consciousness and discover truths about your soul that it desperately needs you to understand? Today, you will discover how to decipher this secret language and transform each physical discomfort into portal of self-knowledge and authentic spiritual healing. In the depths of Vedic teachings, we find revelation that completely revolutionizes our understanding of physical suffering. The body is not passive victim of external circumstances, but active mirror of consciousness inhabiting it, sensitive instrument that registers and manifests each vibration of the heart, each pattern of thought, each quality of soul expressing itself through material form. When Yogananda contemplated disease and pain, he saw not cruel accidents or divine punishments, but compassionate messages from superior intelligence trying to guide lost soul back to path of harmony and spiritual realization. Imagine for a moment your body as sacred temple equipped with divine communication system. When you stray from deepest truth of your nature, when you nourish thoughts contradicting your divine essence, when you allow destructive emotions to dominate your inner landscape, the temple begins sending increasingly clear signals, first whispers of discomfort, then louder voices of symptoms, finally shouts of diseases that can no longer be ignored. But here resides wisdom that few masters reveal openly. Pain is not punishment for what we did wrong. It is loving invitation to discover what we can do right. It is like doorbell ringing persistently until we finally open the door and find divine messenger waiting patiently with gift of self-knowledge wrapped in paper that seems uncomfortable but contains exactly the wisdom our soul most needs to evolve. There exists a question that can completely transform your relationship with any physical discomfort you carry. What pain in your body have you still not truly heard? What message might it be whispering about aspects of your inner life, asking for attention, healing, or conscious transformation? There exists a cosmic law operating silently in invisible laboratories of creation, constantly weaving connections between dimensions common mind considers separate, dimension of thoughts and dimension of matter, realm of emotions and territory of cells, world of spiritual choices and universe of physical manifestations. Each thought we sustain with conviction, each emotion we allow to reside in our heart, each pattern of consciousness we repeat through our attention generates specific vibrations that gradually crystallize as concrete experiences in body's temple. What few perceive is that chronic hatred, persistent fear, resentment fed for years, guilt carried as invisible burden literally create fertile ground for imbalances that will manifest first as subtle discomforts, then as more evident symptoms, finally as conditions demanding our total attention. Not because we are punished for feeling these emotions, but because life's very nature constantly seeks to guide us back to harmony through increasingly clear signals. But what if I revealed it work opposite direction too? Genuinely cultivated virtues, inner peace born from regular spiritual practice, joy sprouting from conscious gratitude, love expanding through selfless service, faith strengthening in divine trust. These superior qualities will operate as most powerful preventive medicine, as healing force regenerating not only spirit, but cells, tissues, organs, and entire. Ancient wisdom whispers, as above, so below, as within, so without. Your inner landscape determines your physical geography. Quality of your most intimate thoughts slowly sculpts reality. Your body experiences as health or disease, vitality or exhaustion, harmony or manifested conflict. And here is the revelation that will change your life. The same mind that can create prison can also forge freedom. Each organ of human body vibrates at specific frequency, corresponding not only to biological functions, but to particular aspects of emotional and spiritual experience. Physical heart, center of blood circulation, resonates with our capacity to give and receive love. When wounded by betrayals, losses, or emotional closure, it can manifest symptoms reflecting exactly this interior condition. Lungs, responsible for breathing, connecting body and spirit, frequently express through congestions and breathing difficulties our inability to breathe freely in life, to express authentic truth, or to liberate ourselves from oppressive environments. Digestive system, alchemical laboratory where foods transform into vital energy, often reflects our capacity to digest life experiences, process changes, assimilate lessons existence offers us. When we live situations we cannot swallow or that stick in our throat, body literally translates these expressions into corresponding physical symptoms. Spinal column axis, keeping us erect, may manifest pains when we feel overwhelmed by responsibilities seeming to break our backs, or when we lose connection with inner strength sustaining us through challenges. But here is golden key that will revolutionize your understanding. Body neither lies nor invents symptoms. It shouts what mind silences, expresses in matter's language truths our consciousness has not yet had courage to face directly. Each pain is invitation to dive more deeply into territories of our soul, asking for healing, attention, or conscious transformation. There exists intimate question that can open portals of self-knowledge. If your most persistent pain could speak, what truth about your inner life would it reveal? What emotional pattern, what limiting belief, what ancient wound might it be signaling to finally receive consciousness's light and possibility of authentic healing? Through millennial veils of human wisdom, all great spiritual traditions echo fundamental truth about inseparable connection between state of consciousness and physical manifestation. In sacred Hinduism, samskaras, subtle impressions engraved in soul by actions, thoughts, and emotions from past and present lives, do not remain merely as ethereal memories, but gradually crystallize as physical tendencies, health predispositions, patterns of vitality or fragility, accompanying our terrestrial journey as faithful reflection of consciousness, quality we cultivate. Compassionate Buddhism teaches that all suffering, including physical pain, emerges from attachments and aversions we maintain regarding life experiences. But far from being cruel punishment, this suffering functions as disguised master, offering precious opportunities to develop detachment, compassion, and wisdom, leading to definitive liberation from patterns perpetuating both emotional anguish and physical manifestations of imbalance. In mystical Christianity, Jesus repeatedly demonstrated that true root of all healing resides in faith, not blind faith, but conscious recognition of our divine nature, transcending matter's apparent limitations. His words, "Your faith has healed you," reveal fundamental secret. When consciousness completely aligns with spiritual truth, body instantly responds, reflecting this inner harmony as radiant health and renewed vitality. What all these traditions whisper in unison is that disease is not external accident happening to us, but inner invitation to awaken dormant aspects of our divine nature. Each symptom carries seeds of transformation. Each discomfort points specific directions where our soul yearns to grow, heal, and expand its capacity to express love, wisdom, and authentic spiritual power. And here is revelation few dare embrace completely. Your pain may be most direct portal to discover spiritual treasure you came seeking in this incarnation. The moment has arrived to transform theoretical understanding into lived experience through spiritual practice that can literally transmute physical pain into opportunity for profound healing and consciousness expansion. This is not magical technique ignoring discomfort's reality, but sacred method using pain itself as ladder to superior dimensions of self-knowledge and divine connection. Begin by finding comfortable position where you can breathe freely and turn attention inward. Allow breathing to deepen naturally, creating internal space where genuine healing can flourish. With each inhalation, imagine golden light entering your body. With each exhalation, allow tensions and resistances to dissolve like morning mist, touched by first sun rays. Now gently direct consciousness toward body area where you feel pain or discomfort. Instead of fighting against sensation or trying to make it disappear, approach it with compassionate curiosity, as if visiting frightened child needing loving attention. Breathe consciously to this region, sending healing light directly to cells and tissues asking for cure. Visualize pain as dense cloud carrying important messages. Allow this cloud to gradually dissolve in light of your expanded consciousness, revealing hidden wisdom it carried. Whisper mentally this power mantra: my soul is healthy and complete. My body reflects this divine truth in each cell, in each breath, in each heartbeat. End practice by sending gratitude both to pain and healing process, recognizing both as aspects of divine love operating in your life to awaken highest potential of your spiritual nature. Prepare yourself for revelation that can completely transform your relationship with physical suffering and open entirely new dimensions of spiritual growth. What appears to be cruel enemy may be, in reality, most dedicated and compassionate master you have ever encountered in this terrestrial journey. That pain you have resisted, that symptom you have cursed, that discomfort you have tried to eliminate, precisely instrument. Your soul chose to awaken it from dreams of separation and limitation, keeping it imprisoned in cycles of unnecessary. There exists profound paradox operating in mysteries of human existence. Often, it is exactly through physical pain that dormant souls finally turn to God, to spiritual practices, to questioning about life's purpose and meaning. Discomfort that seemed obstacle reveals itself as portal. Apparent limitation becomes springboard for consciousness expansion that might never have happened without this urgent call from soul disguised as physical symptom. Rumi, eternal mystic poet, whispered truth few understand. The wound is place where light enters you. Each pain carries potential for opening. Each discomfort offers opportunity to develop qualities that might remain dormant in excessively comfortable life. Patience born from adversity, compassion emerging from own suffering, faith strengthening when everything else fails, love deepening when we discover our essential vulnerability. But what if I revealed that many of history's greatest mystics and saints discovered their most extraordinary spiritual capacities exactly through periods of intense physical or emotional pain? That apparent suffering functioned as divine initiation, as intensive course into surrender and connection with superior dimensions of reality. Your pain may not be punishment. It may be most direct invitation you have ever received to awaken spiritual powers dormant in your soul. Spiritual wisdom only becomes transformative power when integrated into daily choices through conscious and loving application. Each moment of pain or discomfort then becomes precious opportunity to practice conscious presence, to choose spiritual response instead of automatic reaction, to transform affliction into portal of deeper connection with divine essence residing in silent center of your being. When physical discomfort arises, instead of immediately seeking escape or distraction, pause for a sacred moment and ask, what might my soul be trying to communicate through this experience? Allow pain to function as doorbell, calling you back to present consciousness, reminding you to check quality of your thoughts, state of your emotions, alignment of your choices with deepest values, nourishing your spiritual nature. Use each health crisis as forced divine pause, moment when life invites you to slow frenetic rhythm of modern existence and turn attention to more subtle dimensions of human experience. These pauses can become disguised spiritual retreats, opportunities to cultivate qualities that might be neglected in life, excessively occupied with external objectives. Adopt habits simultaneously nourishing body and soul, conscious eating, honoring physical temple as sacred dwelling, exercises celebrating bodily capacity instead of punishing it for imperfections, rest allowing natural regeneration, silence creating space to frequently muffled by agitated. Use each pain sensation as gentle reminder to return to consciousness's center, to that silent point where resides peace transcending physical circumstances and where true healing is always available as gift of divine grace. When we truly understand secret language body uses to communicate soul states, we experience revolutionary transformation in perception about health, disease, and authentic healing process. Pain ceases being fearsome enemy to become respected teacher. Symptoms cease being random failures to reveal themselves as intelligent messages. Physical limitations cease being prisons to function as portals of spiritual awakening might never open. This understanding liberates soul from unconscious, keeping many people in cycles of unnecessary. Instead of asking, why me? With bitterness, awakened consciousness questions, for what purpose? With sacred curiosity. Instead of fighting against painful experience, it learns to dance with it, extracting precious lessons, developing noble qualities, discovering internal resources remaining hidden while life flowed without significant challenges. But here resides secret few masters reveal. When soul truly understands spiritual purpose behind physical pain, frequently this understanding itself initiates natural healing process transcending conventional methods. Not because understanding is magical, but because conscious alignment with superior purpose liberates regenerative forces always available, only blocked by resistance and incomprehension. Elevated consciousness possesses natural capacity to transmute suffering into spiritual strength, transform limitation into transcendence opportunity, convert apparent punishment into disguised blessing, accelerating soul's evolution toward realization of authentic divine nature. When soul completely awakens to truth, that it is eternal spirit using temporary body as instrument of learning and service, even most intense pain bows before inner light, recognizing its sacred function in great drama of spiritual evolution. As our journey through mysteries of physical pain as soul's language approaches its culmination, luminous synthesis emerges that can forever transform your relationship with any discomfort you carry or may carry in future. Each pain, each symptom, each bodily limitation reveals itself as urgent letter written by deepest wisdom of your being, disguised love message your soul sends when other more subtle communication methods could not capture attention necessary for changes it desperately wishes to implement. Body speaks exactly what soul desires to, but conscious mind has not yet had courage to recognize or capacity to understand. When we finally learn to hear this sacred language with open heart and compassionate curiosity, we discover we were always our own oracles, always carried within us wisdom necessary for our healing and growth, always possessed direct connection with divine intelligence governing both cellular functioning and consciousness evolution. There exists poetic phrase capturing essence of this revelation. Body speaks what soul desires, and by truly listening to it, you awaken to healing transcending symptoms and touching root of your authentic spiritual nature. This listening is not passivity, accepting suffering as inevitable, but sacred activity using discomfort as springboard to superior dimensions of self-knowledge and divine realization. Gratitude naturally emerges as golden key of liberation from physical karma, not forced gratitude denying pain's reality, but genuine recognition that even most challenging experiences carry seeds of spiritual awakening. When we can whisper sincere, "Thank you," for lessons arriving wrapped in seemingly uncomfortable paper, we immediately transmute resistance energy into transcendence force. Take this understanding as sacred balm to heal not only physical symptoms, but illusory separation between body and soul that is root cause of so much unnecessary suffering. Dear seeker of truth transcending physical appearances, if this journey through sacred territories where pain finds meaning touched deeper chords of your soul, if these revelations awakened inner recognition about messages your own body may have been sending, then you are being called to become bearer of this ancient wisdom for other hearts still suffering in darkness of incomprehension about spiritual purpose of their most challenging physical experiences. Your pain, understood through light of awakened consciousness, is not merely personal matter. It becomes portal through which genuine compassion can flow to all beings experiencing bodily suffering without understanding its higher meaning. Each insight you gain about your own body's secret language adds harmonious note to collective healing symphony our humanity desperately needs to transcend cycles of victimization and awaken to self-healing power residing dormant in each incarnated soul. I invite you, with all solemnity this sacred moment deserves, to write in comments below these words of recognition, "My pain is my spiritual master." By making this courageous declaration, you not only affirm personal understanding, but create energetic field of transformation reaching other hearts needing the same liberating revelation. If you truly recognize transformative wisdom in these revelations, demonstrate gratitude through concrete actions, multiplying this healing light. Leave your like, so more souls may find these truths that can revolutionize relationship with physical suffering. Subscribe to this channel to continue receiving teachings, elevating consciousness beyond apparent limitations. Share this video with those you know, struggling with physical pains without understanding their spiritual purpose. For your gesture of love may be key opening door of saving comprehension. United in wisdom that we are eternal spirits temporarily dancing in temples of flesh, we expand consciousness of healing throughout entire world. May light of understanding dissolve darkness of incomprehension about sacred nature of all human experience. May you recognize in each divine invitation and healing powers eternally residing in your immortal